What's up, everybody? Today we'll be going over UFC 301 and why it's actually surprisingly good. Everybody has been disrespecting this card for zero reason. Why? Because the main event is relatively weak, but the rest of this card is absolutely fucking stacked. I swear, there's too many fans nowadays that are just, I don't use this word, by the way, but they're casuals. They really are flinky casuals. And I've noticed this, like, right around 299, because, you know, the casual has been thrown around in the MMA community for quite some time now, but I swear, I cannot go anywhere without seeing a comment on Instagram, YouTube, you know, X, anywhere, without somebody going like, he's a casual. This guy's a casual. This guy's a casual. When have we gotten to a point where we all just cannot enjoy MMA and we have to call people casuals or hardcore? I don't see anybody calling themselves a hardcore fan. It's just either a casual or you like MMA. We are all here to watch the sport because we are UFC fans and we enjoy the sport. With that being said, if a casual is somebody who does not watch MMA, every single one of you that is calling UFC 301 a bad card is a casual because you do not watch the sport. You see this main event and you do not see a fun, entertaining, electrifying fight, and you also do not see a fight card that is stacked top to bottom with very good talent. And let me show you what I'm talking about right now. So let's go ahead and just look at this card real quick, right? Let's go down. First off, Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas. If you watch UFC, you understand that flyweight fights are one of the most exciting fights in the entire UFC because these guys are so light and they hit so hard and their endurance is so good and they're so skilled. If you scaled these guys up to heavyweight, they'll be selling out Madison Square Garden like every weekend. But because of their size, people disrespect them. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a UFC fight, but they zoom in to the camera. They zoom in to these fighters. They look like they're basically heavyweights when they're out there until Herb Dean walks behind him, and Herb Dean looks like the fucking armored titan from Attack on Titan. But like these guys fight very entertaining ways, and both these guys have really good records. We have Alessandro Costa, who's 13-4, pretty decent, and we have Kevin Borjas, who is 9-2. They're both coming off of losses, but you got to realize, you got to look at their wins. This guy has an 89% KO rate. Alessandro Costa has a pretty solid KO and sub rate when you put them together. That's 27% by KO, 55% by sub. You're looking at about an 80% finish rate for Alessandro Costa and a almost near 90% finish rate for Borjas. They are going to put on a banger. Someone is going to get knocked out or they're going to knock someone else out. Alessandro Costa just lost to Steve Erceg, the guy in the main event. Kevin Borjas came off of, I think, a fight with Manel Kape, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not going to look at it. My point is, I'm going to go through every fight on the card like this and explain to you why this card is stacked. So whenever you guys come back to this comment section, either to flame me or to prove that I'm right, you see what I was talking about. Because I am tired of hearing people disrespect these cards. You guys have been spoiled with UFC 299, UFC 300, and then June, you know, with Whitaker, Chimaev, McGregor, Chandler, you know, all these just stacked cards in June and everything like that. And you guys just do not realize the level of that this is a solid card. This is a solid card. You guys just do not watch the fight. So we have a guy who's coming off of a loss to the man in the main event. We have Kevin Borjas, who I don't know who he lost to, but he's had some very good performances. These fighters out of Peru are nearly undefeated. He lost his last fight, but you got to realize that going into his last fight, he was 9-1. He only had one loss, guys. Seriously. Then we have Ismael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. Last year, Ismael Bonfim had one of the KOs of the year, knocking out Terrence McKinney in the very second round. He knocked out Terrence McKinney cold with a flying knee, okay? And then we have Vince Pichel, who you guys are going to see an edit of very soon. If you follow my page, Il Flama on Instagram, you guys are going to see this. But Vince Pichel is just a funny guy. He talks to people while he's in the octagon. He calls people motherfucker while he's in there. He gets his throat and cuts it over people. This being said, he's an older guy. I'm pretty sure he's about 40 years old or something like that. He's pretty old, but look at his record. 14-3, veteran of the sport, fighting a new up-and-coming guy, Ismael Bonfim. The only guy he's lost to recently is Benoit Saint-Denis, who put on a pretty good performance against Dustin Poirier until getting knocked out. This is a competitive, interesting... Okay, wait. This is not a competitive, interesting fight. I think Ismael Bonfim is probably going to knock out Vince Pichel. But let me say this. I don't understand why people think that a fight has to be like a Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler-ass fight for it to be interesting. I think if a KO happens, that's an interesting fight. The end result is, oh my gosh, somebody got knocked out. With this being said, it's either Vince Pichel is going there to get executed or he's going to have a Jorge Masvidal, like, you know, re-blessed moment. You know, he's going to have a Max Holloway UFC 300 performance, you know, reinventing himself. Let's look at the finish rate. Ismael Bonfim, 47 plus 21. Quick math. Okay, that's like 68. That's all right. And then Vince Pichel has a 57% KO rate. You know, average fight, but this guy Ismail Bonfim is no joke, and he was undefeated before he fought. What's his name, right? Oh no, he's 19-4. I was thinking about his brother. My bad. Very competitive fight though. I haven't heard of these two, so I'm gonna skip them. Mauricio Rufy. Okay, I gotta admit, I don't know this guy. Oh, debut. Okay, don't know nothing about him. Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey is all right. 100% finish rate? What? How many fights does he have? Does it even have the record right there? That's weird. Yeah, why does it not have the record? That's interesting. Why is their record not here? I guess we just have to trust that I remember Jamie Malarkey's record. Jamie Malarkey is all right, but he's a vet of the game. Okay, so what do we have right now? 2 weaker fights, but only because I don't know anything about them. I'm just telling you guys based off what I know. After watching the sport very consistently for the past 4 years and going back and watching other stuff. Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. Okay? Joaquim Silva wobbled Saint Denis bad. Had him hurt. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. That was Thiago Moises. Joaquim Silva wobbled Arman Tsarukyan, who came off of a very close fight with Charles Oliveira. So we have Joaquim Silva coming off of a really close loss to to Arman Tsarukyan, and it said he just won his last fight. You know, let's go ahead and just see who Joaquim lost to. Joaquim Silva. Joaquim Silva. Let's see. I know he lost to. Okay, he beat Clay Guida by decision. But look, Joaquim Silva put Arman on skates. Okay, and then we got Drakkar Klose. I don't know if y'all remember the clip of Joe Rogan going, "Oh my God!" But that's where that came from. That was Beneil Dariush versus Drakkar Klose. Dariush versus Drakkar Klose. Look at this, bruh. Look at this, bruh. Let me put y'all on, bruh. Boom. 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 Whoa. He's wobbled. He's hurt. Drakkar Klose is going to knock out Benny. Look, he's hurting him bad. He's hurting him bad. And then, pow. This is the guy who's fighting tomorrow, dude. This guy. He is not afraid to go in the fire and swing and bang, dude. Okay, and then you want to see his most recent finish? Look at his most recent finish, because y'all are going to... I already know what his most recent finish is, but look. He has only 1 of 3 of these in UFC history. I guess I'm just gonna fucking expose it now. But look at this. This is his last fight. Look at this. Bow! Slam KO. We got a guy who's not afraid to swing and bang. He got a slam KO in his last fight, and he's fighting Joaquim Silva, who put Arman Tsarukyan on skates. I might as well show y'all that too. Joaquim Silva versus Arman. Look at this. Look at this. Y'all think I'm playing?
Poco a poco.
He put that fool on skates. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Bien, abriendo la distancia. Neto BJJ. Con buenas fintas el brasileño. Y juego de pies. Ligerito sobre las puntas. Eso sí tocó.
Comentaba Joaquim Silva de que reconoce el peligro de los derribos de Arman Tsarukyan. Aquí tenemos
el
el
Moreno.
primero. Vamos a ver.
What the heck? Oh shit. Maybe I was wrong, guys.
And Arman Tsarukyan. This should be. Don't sleep on. Second round underway for Arman Tsarukyan. Wants him to stop throwing. Very fast. Follows. That's what he's looking. And an axe kick. Silva. Can hang.
Did he? I don't want to build a bad narrative here, guys. To be fair. Yeah, to be fair, he would never put a clip of him in here. Damn! Arman looked good in this fight.
He dumped him on his head, and that looked like it hurt him bad the way he dumped him.
Oh, I remember this. This was brutal. Dude, this is pretty sick. That was cool. Okay, I lied. There you go. Sadly, I wasn't correct about that one. But y'all saw Drakkar Klose. We got a guy who lost to a very impressive contender who just beat Charles Oliveira versus Drakkar Klose. Is that really boring to you? Is that really a snoozer to you? William Gomes, who I think is near undefeated. Yeah, 13-2. Versus John Silva. Have y'all seen this dude, John Silva? He is the most extra man in UFC history, bro. He is the most extra man in UFC history, bro. I think he has the longest walkout in UFC history, I'm pretty sure. Dude,
Don't be confused, because this is not in which the style that this man
I was going to say, when the octagon gate shuts, he's
so
pretty
ridiculous,
explosive.
pretty fast to get in the opponent's face, throw vicious combinations. But hey, he's enjoying this. He's taking this moment in.
In Brazil, too. I wonder if he's going to walk this slowly when he gets in Brazil.
Well, he's taking his time.
Hopefully he's got enough music.
He's soaking up the
He's
moment.
taking his time. Look at him. Look at this guy staring at the camera.
That's for you.
All silliness aside, he's a serious mixed martial artist.
Don't be confused.
Dude, his shit was literally 5 minutes long, and then I'm pretty sure he went out there and knocked out his I think he went out there and knocked out his guy. Very interesting guy. Very interesting guy. Oh yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Dude, he
Way
knocked
his
out
head
this
just
guy.
kinda
Oh, it's
slid on
Weston
the canvas
Wilson.
as he was
He knocked
approaching
that dude
that
out.
takedown.
He beat
Every
his ass.
punch that's landing from
Oh, my
Silva's
goodness.
drawn a reaction.
Oh my
Stop
goodness,
that
he
fight
was
right
whooping
now.
his ass.
No, he's giving him a chance here.
Some of these standing
delayed
TKOs are just
reaction from
brutal
Wilson.
because you can tell they just outed that
He's just
shit,
not
dude.
reacting properly here.
He's moving
Oh
into
my
a moment
gosh.
as
I'd
well.
love to see this fight.
I forgot about this
Yeah,
fight.
so-
Oh my
It
god.
is Gian Silva with a huge victory.
So we got him fighting William Gomes, who I think is also coming off of a KO win, if I'm not mistaken. He had some controversy in that, by the way. Let's see. Oh, is this the one where he hit him in the nuts?
Il a failli lui zigouiller les cacahuètes. Tu l'as deviné, aujourd'hui on parle.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so he hit this guy in the nuts.
Il a failli lui zigouiller les
Well,
cacahuètes.
not
Tu
really.
l'as
I mean, it's
deviné,
kind of like a
aujourd'hui on
body
parle de
shot.
William
Basically, he
Gomes
finished this guy from
l'asphyxié.
his
Vraiment,
body
ça
shot.
m'impressionne cette capacité à survivre à un étranglement. Le petit, tu le condamnes à mort par pendaison, vous posez des congés pour le voir mourir. Même Guy Georges Prime aurait eu du mal à le
I have
finir.
Fight
Fernand,
Pass,
si tu
but,
nous écoutes, c'est pas au Daghestan.
I have Fight Pass, but I don't really want to log into it right now. Just gonna blur this part.
Across the board, both men are young.
Okay, we don't have his most recent fight, but we have this one, so let's see. I think he just wins this one by decision. Or he probably lost this one, honestly, because he's 13-2. I remember him being undefeated. Chimaev versus Diaz. This is old as shit. That fight never even happened. This is Izzy versus Sean Strickland.
Gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 29-28, and 29-29 for the winner by majority decision, William Jaguar.
So he won that one, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just not letting me watch this one for some reason. The iconic nutshot KO finish. Okay. All right, so we got a guy who won by a nutshot in his last fight, and we have a guy who beat somebody's ass in his last fight. One is 13-2, one is 12-2. They're both good records, competitive guys. They're going to swing and bang. Oh, my gosh. Yo! If y'all ain't hyped for this fight, y'all don't know what the fuck is up, bro. Like, I'm telling you, we got 50,000 BC caveman fighting Charles Du Bronx Oliveira 2.0, bro. Ryan Gordon, Charles Oliveira. Bro, if y'all ain't know, now you know. Now y'all know. Bro, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying about the casuals not understanding, bro. This card, like, single-handedly saved this fight, saved the whole card. Saved the whole card. Mitaibek Urubai fighting Elvis Brenner. Bro, is there even any fucking explaining for this, bro? We got the legend himself, bro. We got the legend himself, Mitaibek Urubai. And this fool, I think, has a almost 100% finish rate, don't he? Yeah, he's 12-1, and he has a 99% finish rate or some shit. He's 6-5. That's 5 wins by submission, 6 wins by knockout. This dude's like the Shavkat of lightweight. I don't know if you could say that because he's not as dominant, but he's like, dude, but he's good as fuck. Like, okay, so we got, who is it? Unos Medic. Dude, I'm telling you, this guy is good, dude. He just beat Unos Medic, who had a really impressive, I think he knocked out, what's his name? Tim Means last weekend. So Medic, so he's just coming off a win off of Medic, who was near undefeated himself. Let's pull up Fight Pass. Pull up that Fight Pass. Earl By. Pull up that Earl By. Muntebeck Earl By. Unos Medic. Yeah, bro. Brendan Allen. Bro. Are you serious, bro? Okay. Okay. Whatever you say, buddy. Dude, look at this. Submitted him. Second round. Light work. Neck crank.
This fight clock is brought
100%.
Why do I even have Fight Pass if I can't even watch it?
See if Autobody can hook that leg. He got it.
Wow. And
takes him down, smothers him.
Yeah, that you get separation.
I know, we love another Central Asian wrestler.
moment. Now Medic able to
Look at him.
scoop it off.
Gets behind the back, chokes him out.
Snuck that one in. Oh, now he's around under the chin, all around. And he was like, oh, that's where you're blocking.
500 BC matchup. Get him.
Arm.
Yes, sir.
On the chin, not under.
Get him in that agricultural revolution.
there is a bulldog
arm handshake,
switch
RNC.
too, but
yeah.
Medic isn't really giving.
Give him in that Neanderthal revolution RNC. Hell yeah. And Unos Medic's record is good as hell. Let me pull it up for y'all. Unos Medic. Unos Medic. Okay, I'll just. It's spelled weird. It's not like Spanish. I'm sorry. Yeah. Unos Medic. Serbian dude, the doctor. Look at this guy. 8 wins by knockout, 2 by submission. He has a 100% finish rate, only 2 losses, and one of them is to Earl By. He just knocked out Tim Means. Let's watch that replay. Or not. Okay. Is it gonna let me watch that shit, or is it just gonna fucking kick me out again? It ain't gonna let us watch it right now, but he just came off of a really good win versus he just came off a really good win over Tim Means this past weekend. Like, look. Medic KO. He might have submitted him actually. Oh no, he not. Oh no, I don't even know if I want to see these guys.
Oh, nasty.
That was nasty.
And timed that perfectly timed up.
Okay. So we have that guy whose only loss, I think, in the UFC is to fucking 50K BC Earl By. You know, we got Dan 50K Ige. Now we got Mittelenbeck negative 50K BC Earl By coming out here to get that W for the nomadic hunter-gatherers of Central Asia. Yes, sir. And then we got Elvis Brenner. We got Charles Oliveira, Gordon Ryan in the building, bruh. Charles Oliveira, Gordon Ryan in the building. Have y'all even seen an Elvis Brenner fight? A 5-fight win streak. He has 11 wins by submission, 9 first-round finishes. 9 first-round finishes. This guy has finished 9 people in the very first round. He has 11 wins by fucking submission, bro. Let's go back real quick. Let's go back. Let's look at their finishing rates overall. Win by KO sub 92% finish rate versus 86% versus 92% finish rate. These fools are gonna get, somebody's getting knocked out or submitted, but knowing how Elvis Brenner has that dog in him, I think we're gonna see a war. This is basically like freaking bro, this is literally like Chamaya versus Burns, but like on the freaking undercards, dude. We got the Brazilian, tough, well-rounded Brazilian versus just the smash. Fucking smash level fighter, bro. This is a dope fight. This is a really dope fight. And then just so you guys know, an Elvis Brenner fight, dude, he got all this blood in his face in one of his fights, dude. Look at this. Dude, this guy is no joke, bro. Did he slam finish somebody? Oh, yeah, versus Guram. Oh, okay, it was versus Guram. Dude, look at this. So he almost got knocked out a couple times in this fight, but bro was like Charles Oliveira. He literally kept getting up, kept bleeding. He rubbed the blood in his face. A full war, a full 3-round war this guy was in. And he's fighting freaking 50K BC Earl By. So we got a dude with a 92% finish rate. We got a dude with an 86% finish rate fighting each other Urlbai is an exciting new prospect. Elvis Brenner is like a Charles Oliveira, like a lower-ranked Charles Oliveira of the division. Has a high finish rate, goes to war with his guys, bleaches his hair. Are you not excited? Are you not entertained, bro? Are you not entertained? Okay? And then I know Lucindo, actually, and I've actually heard of both of these chicks, but I don't know what their last fight was. What is their submission rate? Ah, okay. We'll talk about that. Jack Shore versus Joe Anderson Brito. Now, I know I've been hyping up a lot of these guys saying about how good their records are. Jack Shore only has one loss, and it's in the UFC. He only has one loss. And let's see who Jack Shore lost to. Let's just go ahead and pull it up. Hey, pull up the Jack Shore loss. Pull that up. Oh, who did he lose to? Let's view his fight history. Win. He only lost to one guy. He lost to this guy named Azur in 2021. And it was by split decision. This guy's like a 9-2 record. Doesn't even seem that bad. This is his only loss, and it was by split decision freaking 3 years ago. Jack Shore is 17-1. Look, I don't know if he has a Habib like record, okay? But let's look at his let's look at the fight history real quick. Amr Khani, solid win. Oh, I see. He lost to Ricky Simone. That's how he lost. Okay. I got you. Dude. If the only guy you've lost to is Ricky Simone, you're doing pretty good. Oh, yeah, he beat that guy. But he hasn't really fought anybody else aside from them. Is that Shamil Valiev? Nah, that's nothing crazy. Yeah, and he lost to Ricky. Dude, so out of 17 fights, the only guy he's lost to is Ricky Simone, which, as you guys know, Ricky Simone was also the only guy to have beaten Merab Dvalishvili in the UFC. So to have a guy like Jack Shore fighting on this card, who's really just a prospect who just took one loss, that's a pretty high-level guy. Fighting Joe Anderson Brito. Let's look at Brito's record to see who he's fought recently. Look, he fought Jonathan Pierce, submitted him in 2023. Then he beat Weston Wilson, who has just been getting absolutely brutalized as of recently, my guy. Just absolutely brutalized. I mean, Weston Wilson just has been getting just shit on by people. But yeah, he's been having a rough, Weston Wilson. I think it's from South Carolina too.
With Sao Paulo.
It's wild.
Problem being on Elvis and Wilson, he'll be safe.
Weight on the right.
That's very deep.
We got an exciting Brazilian guy coming out here, knocking people out, submitting people and everything like that. Whatchamacallit. And he's fighting Jack Shore, who's undefeated in the UFC. And then let's look at their finishing rate. I don't think these guys have super crazy finishing rates, but they're just high level opponents. Oh, dude, 88% finish rate for Brito. And 75 for Jack Shore. These guys are finishing most of their fights. So we have another fight that could have a pretty exciting ending with two high-level guys. Okay. Now, before we get into the main card, because this main card is extremely underrated. Okay? Before we get into the main card, let's real quick recap the rest of this undercard, right? So, we got two high-level flyweights who only have lost the best of their division, right? And we know how flyweights put on entertaining fights. Both of these guys have like a 90% finish rate. Somebody's either knocking someone out or getting knocked out themselves. Exciting fight. High-level fight. Ismael Bonfim knocked out Terrence McKinney with a flying knee and one of the KOs of the year last year. And then his only loss to who? Benoit Saint-Denis. He's fighting Vince Pichel, who's a dog. He's an absolute animal. He gets in there and he fights his heart out. So it could be the end of Vince Pichel. You know, this is most likely his retirement fight, but he might have that Jorge Masvidal, Michael Bisping-like resurgence. You just don't know. Tune in. I don't know these chicks. We're going to skip them. So we got one right now, right? We got another one. This guy's making his debut. I don't know nothing about him, but he has a 100% finish rate. You're telling me you're not even curious to see what's going to happen? To see if he's going to go out there and knock out Jamie Malarkey, who sadly has been getting knocked out over and over again. You might see another freaking highlight of the year on that one, okay? I wouldn't even count that as an L fight. Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. We have the guy whose most recent loss is the Arman Tsarukyan. Okay, that's his most recent loss. But actually, since then, he's picked up a win, and he's fighting Drakkar Klose, who has, he's been in wars in the UFC, like with Beneil Dariush and stuff like that. And this is coming off of a slam finish KO. And I think it was UFC 299. I'm pretty sure it was either UFC 299 or 297. But knocking out by slam finish. Only 3 of those in UFC history. Is that not a banger fight? 2 guys with an 80% finish rate. John Silva, who has the longest walkout in UFC history, goes out there and just brutalizes Weston Wilson, knocks him out like hard, versus William Gomis, a near undefeated fighter with real talent from France. Mintumbik, negative 50K BC, Uralbai, fighting Elvis Brenner. Both of these guys have in the 90s a finish rate, a 90%, 80% finish rate. Not to mention Elvis Brenner has only been in wars in his recent fights. It's absolute entertaining fights, fighting one of these Central Asian killing machines with a 100% finish rate himself, near 100% finish rate himself, and well-rounded at that. Half submission, half KO. A good, well-rounded fight just from top to bottom. Carolina Kalawaks versus Jasmine Lucindo. I don't know much about these guys, but they're high-level women's fighters, so I guess we'll just give two. We'll just give two right there, right? Jack Shore, near undefeated. 75% finish rate, fighting Joe Anderson Brito with an 88% finish rate. Both of you guys are dogs that have been in the organization for a long time, battle-tested. But Jack Shore is 17-1, near undefeated. He's still a good prospect in that lightweight division. He still has to prove himself, but if he can get some wind under his belt, we can see a new contender in the lightweight division. Exciting fight between these two. As featherweight. But that's the undercard. You're really going to tell me that's a snoozer? You guys clearly have not watched these guys ever fight before because you do not watch the sport as much. If you actually watch at least just, a couple times a month, just even once a month, you'll probably know a good bit of the fighters on these cards. And you would see that this card isn't as bad as people think it is. And not only is it not bad, but it's going to perform a lot. It's going to perform really good. Let's get into this underrated as main card. This absolutely disrespected main card. First off, Paul Craig versus Caio Borralho. We got Charles Oliveira and Paulo Costa's son put together, 1-1. Caio Borralho is an excellent grappler. He is probably has the best jiu-jitsu in middleweight right now. Call me out. The only guy who's better? Paul Craig. This is an absolutely exciting fight for anybody who loves jiu-jitsu. And don't at me. Look on Instagram Reels. Look at Facebook Reels. Look at wherever you watch your shit at. Whenever there's a really cool wrestling exchange, like that one between fucking Figueiredo and Moreno, or that crazy scramble between, what's his name? Between Royval and Kai Kara France, people lose their minds over it. We have two guys that have super exciting jiu-jitsu skills with KO power. Are you telling me you're not excited for that? Especially with Paul Craig's antics, getting up in people's faces, painting his face and everything like that. Caio Borralho's ability to finish the fight and go the distance and go in an absolute war. And they're both good fighters, whether you like Paul Craig or not. He's like the Michael Johnson of like 205, or was the Michael Johnson of 205. Paul Craig is a great fighter. Submitted Ankalaev. Submitted Jamal Hill. He is that guy when it comes to being on the ground. And Caio Borralho is also that guy when it comes to being on the ground. 15-1. Let's look at their wins. 76% of Paul Craig's wins are by submission. Caio Borralho is 27 by sub, 27 by KO. But the amount of attempts that he has, let's look at that. Takedown accuracy. He lands 63% of his takedowns. He thwarts 57% of them. He averages 2 every 15 minutes. Paul Craig is throwing out a submission every, 2 submissions every fight, basically. Real solid submissions, right? These guys are going to go out there and they're going to put on a show. Paul Craig is going to go out there trying to submit Caio Borralho, and when it goes to the ground, we know how good this guy is. We know that Caio Borralho is going to have that ability to sit there and want to fight him there if he chooses to. So we're either going to see Paul Craig get absolutely knocked the fuck out, or we're going to see two guys in a super exciting jiu-jitsu fight. Probably the most entertaining one they could put on in middleweight. Probably throughout all the divisions, in my opinion. I love this matchup. These guys are just both stylistically a super fun matchup to see who's going to come out on top. So if you don't know, now y'all know. Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. Bro, like I said, y'all sleeping on this shit. Y'all sleep on this shit. Pull that up. Pull it up. I don't know why it's not letting me expand it. Hold on. Wait a second. Oh, don't tell me this was canceled. Did freaking Michel Pereira miss weight again? Oh, no. I'm thinking this fight was canceled, bro. It's not letting me click on it. What the heck? It wouldn't surprise me. That's another reason why this fight card is awesome. We have some fighters that usually pull out. So if they're going to be here, something special is going to happen. No. What the heck? If y'all don't know who freaking, what's his name? If y'all don't know who Michel Pereira is, I'm going to show you who he is. Because it's really just more of a showing type shit. I'm just going to show y'all. Michelle. And see, here's the narrative I'm talking about. How did the UFC mess this up so badly? Like, yeah, before we get into this, look at all this UFC rhetoric that we have fucking going in this card. I'm telling you, that's why I'm putting this video out. It sucks, but that's why I'm putting it out. Everything is about this, dude, this fight sucks, dude. This card is so bad. How did the UFC mess up with it so badly? Oh. Good. They better not freaking... okay. Yeah, okay. The truth about UFC 301, how to save it. Was that a month ago? Damn, okay. Okay. Hey! Hey! My boy! Hop Roll MMA. Dap me up, my brother. Dap me up, my brother. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, this card is criminally underrated. I'm here to rub it in y'all's face, bro. How the UFC messed up about it. Such casual shit. I don't even use that word. That's some casual shit. Michel Pereira. Dude, this guy is crazy, bro. I don't even... So, first of all, he's coming off of this win.
It would have felt really cool.
Very solid win over a middleweight Jan Blachowicz. I'm fucking with you guys. I know it's not him, but... Dude. Just absolutely went out there and just destroyed him. Dude, just went out there and just choked him out, like, easy.
But that's it. He's going. He's out.
Just went out there and made it look easy. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Also, I love this video, by the way. It's one of my favorite MMA videos.
Come on.
If y'all ain't know Michel Pereira, y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. So he's a capoeira fighter with super good, with super good like kicks, super good, underrated I think straight shots like with his stand up and everything like that. And obviously, as you can see, just incredibly athletic. Like this guy defines what being a mixed martial artist is. Like in terms of art. Like, his striking is art. It's so fucking fun to watch, dude. It's awesome. And you can just tell the guy has fun when he goes out there, too. As if I can remember recently, he's only had one, I think, boring fight recently. He won by decision. But look at this guy. He has the KO power. He has the movement. He has the entertaining factor. And, like, everybody's out here calling, like, oh, this fight's boring. We got Michel Pereira on the fight card. Y'all got to lock in. Y'all got to tune in. I gotta show y'all another one. Oh, this takedown is cool. I remember this one. I'm not trying to show you a bunch of Michel Pereira highlights, but exciting guy, super exciting fight with Michel Pereira and Ihor Potieria, who he himself has a pretty decent finish rate. He's picked up some W's, some solid W's. I mean, he absolutely battered a freaking bedridden, bedridden freaking, what is it? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Shogun. That was ridiculous. Yeah, this is absurd. I'm not even gonna play that. That's dumb. Just Shogun should have never even been fighting anymore, and he fought this guy. But Potieria has some good, solid skills. He got knocked out in UFC Charlotte. I was here live, by the way, to watch this.
Oh, he hit it with that.
Bang, 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 bang.
That is his best shot. He's not
Yeah, I watched this live, bro. I watched this live. I was so sorry. He's going back again. I think you actually see, so when DC's in the interview, you can see some lights flash in the background if they show that. But he's really only lost to some pretty good guys. Let's see, Ihor Potieria, finish rate. Okay, fight got canceled. See, next. He's fighting Shara Bullet in June 22nd. Okay, so this fight got canceled. They just didn't update the website yet. What? Why is it saying he's going to fight Shara Bullet? Okay, if this fight is still happening, very exciting fight. Let's look at the finish rate. Oh, he lost to Rodolfo Bellato. Ah, okay, pretty inconsistent then, it seems like. All right, well, we have Ihor Patera getting executed. On the topic of executions, we finally have the execution of Anthony Smith. How was this fight made? Look, guys, look. Whether you like Anthony Smith or you don't like Anthony Smith, why did they make this fight? I feel like whoever, the matchmakers who made this fight, they just want to see Anthony Smith die. Like, this man has gotten knocked out, like, I don't know how many times in his last few fights. Like let's look at his recent fights just to see. Look at this man's record and tell me who you think he should be fighting. Okay. So I watched that. Okay. Knocked out by Ankalaev. Right? Knocked out by Ankalaev. Gets battered by Johnny Walker. Loses a split decision after getting brutalized by Ryan Spann. But Ryan Spann sucks, so. He barely beats Ryan Spann. And then he gets absolutely fucking destroyed by Khalil Roundtree Jr. We have 1, 2, because Ryan Spann beat the shit out of him. 3 times this guy has been absolutely just battered with strikes. Either nearly knocked out, but managed to come back somehow because Ryan Spann sucks. Absolutely brutalized by Khalil Roundtree Jr. on short notice, mind you. And then got his leg kicked so hard that he freaking couldn't even walk anymore in the fight. And then put on a delusional performance against Johnny Walker. This guy is, his record is 37-19. So you would think, okay, maybe he gets a well-rounded guy to kind of get just another win back in for himself, just get back on the cutting board. He's fighting Vitor Petrino, who is 11-0. And he has 78% of his wins by knockout. 78%. Let's look at his last fights. Okay, so when did Vitor Petrino's fights end, though, you might ask? We got a KO against Bukauskas. A brutal one, by the way. A brutal submission of Machine Petrino. And a very solid win over Tyson Pedro this March. Who he himself has been knocking guys out. Absolutely brutalized Turkali. You want to watch this guy's highlight real quick? Because it ain't that long. It ain't that fucking long. Here we go. Vitor Petrino. This is the guy that Anthony Smith is fighting, dude. This is who Anthony Smith is fighting. Do you think that's a good matchup for a vet who's been inconsistently winning and losing and then has been knocked out like 3 times? That is not a good fight for Anthony Smith at all. They just want to execute him. Look, guys, I'm not like an Anthony Smith fan or anything like that, but I just think it's a terrible fight for him, and I just don't understand why he would take that fight. I don't know what the rankings are right now, but you could fight anybody other than him. But I just think Anthony Smith needs to retire. It's ridiculous. So basically, we got an execution, right? Jonathan Martinez versus Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, I don't know why he's coming back, but he's choosing to come back. And I think it's because he wants to finish out his contract. He has 1 fight left on his contract. So he retired against Merab Dvalishvili in his last fight. And people, I think there's this narrative about former champions that they're bad. They're always bad. They're not bad. They usually just slow down enough that they can't beat the very, very top, but they can beat some people in between. Jose Aldo is one of those guys where he's fought the champions and basically just lost by decision. It just really wasn't his night, because he just has so much experience. But he's one of those Max Holloway type champs where you forget he's really not that old. I mean, Jose Aldo reigned over a division for 12 years, but when you consider that he reigned over for 12 years, 10 years ago, bro's 37. I mean, yeah, he's older and everything like that, but considering the career he's had and everything up to this point, super experienced. The main reason he doesn't fight the same anymore is because his muscles just aren't the same anymore. He has too much damage in his knees and stuff like that. His last loss was not a bad loss. I need to remind y'all of something. Look at Jose Aldo's last loss. His last loss was to Merab Dvalishvili by unanimous decision. I need to look at the stats for this fight because you guys, this is insane. These were insane stats. Aldo versus you know what I'm saying. Jose Aldo defended every takedown against Merab Dvalishvili. Let's look at this. Takedowns, 0 of 16. He defended 16 takedowns from Merab Dvalishvili. The same guy that brutalized the Olympian Henry Cejudo. The same guy who's just been running through guys at a bantamweight. And Jose Aldo, that's his last loss. That's the only guy he lost to recently. He beat Rob Font by decision. He beat Pedro Munoz by decision. Guys that are still fighting, putting on competitive fights to this day. I don't know if I can pull up anymore. He beat Chito Vera. He lost to Piotr Jan in 2020. Dude, this guy Jose Aldo has only lost to the absolute best in the division. He's literally only lost to the best people in the division that were go on to be champ or for the belt. I think he fought Piotr Jan for the belt and he lost by knockout in the 5th round. So 5 rounds of Piotr Jan, lost in the 5th round. And basically what I'm trying to tell you guys is that Jose Aldo is a legend. If you don't know Jose Aldo, you just don't know him. But Jose Aldo is an absolute legend, and the narrative around him being like washed or whatever isn't exactly true. Yes, he is not the same guy going in there, kneeing people in the face, knocking them out instantly, but he has the tools to beat Jonathan Martinez by a decision, by a submission. And like I said, there's 2 reasons I think Jose Aldo might be coming back. He's either coming back because he wants to finish out his contract. He wants a better retirement than retiring off of a unanimous decision loss to Merab. Or he thinks he can beat Sean O'Malley. That's another reason I think Jose Aldo's coming back. So this is a fun fight because not only, Jose Aldo is coming back and this and that, but Jose Aldo might think he could beat Sean O'Malley, and that's why he's coming back. Fighting Jonathan Martinez. He does not have an easy fight. This guy, Jonathan Martinez, is a stud. This guy's a stud. Let's look at their wins. 50 by KO, 11 by sub, 39 by decision. Very well-rounded fighter who can go out there and knock you out, and he has some pretty good submissions as well. Versus, the king, Jose Aldo, 55-42, king of heel. You know what I'm saying? But look at his most recent fights. Knocked out Cub Swanson. Decision over a Nurmagomedov, the worst one, mind you. Knocked out Adrian Yanez. This guy beat a Dagestani in a 3-round fight. He knocked out Cub Swanson, and he knocked out Yanez with them cool Texas hands and everything like that. That cool Texas boxing style. Is that not an exciting fight for you? To see a good fighter, a very solid fighter, fighting Jose Aldo in his return fight for maybe his retirement fight, maybe to see if he can take a shot at Sean O'Malley. It's an interesting fight. And then we got Pantoja versus Erceg. We're in a similar situation. It's not the same, but we're in a similar situation to when Topuria fought Volk most recently, or like a Cannoneer type title shot. Alexandre Pantoja has beaten everybody in his division, or he has beaten someone and that person has beaten somebody below them or above them. There is nobody. All roads lead to Alexandre Pantoja. Every single guy has either lost to Pantoja or kind of indirectly lost to him. So it doesn't make sense for any of them to get a title shot until you get to Steve Erceg. He got a Jamal Hill type title shot. There's just nobody in between that makes sense. So Steve Erceg is thrown in there. He is the unfactored part of the equation. We have seen Steve Erceg's skill set. We know he has power. We know he's pretty decent on the ground. We know he has that dog in him to kind of go for a few rounds if he needs to. Steve Erceg is just untested against any guy that's super, super high up in the division. And then we have Pantoja, who has been consistently proving himself to be the most competitive fighter in this division. He might get hurt. He might get wobbled. He might even get submitted almost. But the guy's a dog, and he sticks in there for the whole fight against the absolute best in the world. Brandon Moreno, 3 times. Broyval, 2 times. I think he also beat Kaikar of France, off the top of my head. And all of those guys also beat other people below them, whether it was Amir Albazi, Costa. Who was in that division? I think the only other guy that that like is near is like what's his name? Hey Ma. Okay. Look at their wins. 30% KO, 37% by sub. Well-rounded finishing rate. Steve Erceg, 55% by sub, 9% by KO. We've got a good well-rounded guy fighting another really good well-rounded guy that both have the power to put each other out in a flyweight title fight. Need I remind you, flyweights put on banger fights. Moreno versus Pantoja. Honestly, any Moreno fight. I was going to go through all of them. Moreno versus Figgy, the quadrology, the only one in UFC history. Banger, quadrology. And y'all are sleeping on it just because they're flyweights. we have a chance to see a huge upset or a super huge y'all must have forgot type finish, or we have a super competitive back and forth war for the ages. I don't see how you guys lose in that regard. People are just shitting on it because they're flyweights. And I'm gonna remind you guys too, like I said, UFC fans have been spoiled recently. This is not a super card. This is a typical main card or typical fight card, and it is not a bad one. If you say it is a bad one, you simply do not watch the sport enough. These guys do not have the crazy name value of, a Dustin, a Justin, a Max, a Chandler, Pereira now, because Pereira's a big star now and everything like that. Like, they do not have that insane level of star power, but you guys have gotten too accustomed to these super duper mega cards. Before these super duper mega cards started coming out, this would have been like a standard fight night. This would have been like, or not a standard fight, this would have been like a standard like pay-per-view. Maybe a little weaker because, it was thinking because it's a flyweight type, but you're just kind of discriminating against it because they're a lighter guy. These fights are very solid, where people are either getting knocked out or knocking the other guy out, a war, a competitive fight between two top-level contenders, or the fights themselves have a lot of unknowns to them, which creates excitement because you don't know what could happen. And there's a high possibility that someone can get knocked out or submitted, which is exciting and fun. So what I'm trying to say is this card is extremely, criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. And whenever y'all are like, damn, I guess I was wrong about UFC 301, come back and holler at your boy. I know there's no editing on this, but I got a shit ton of schoolwork I got to do. I just popped on to do this while I had the energy to do it, and to let y'all know, this card is going to be a banger. Absolute banger. And you know what? After it's a banger, I'm going to come back and clip this and show y'all that UFC 301 was one of the best cards in UFC history. Mark my words. Intentionally or unintentionally, it will be. So come back here. Kiss my hand. See you guys in the next one. Techport 218 signing off. Bye-bye.